starting has to be transformed into fear of what if I don't start? Let's talk about fear. So today on my channel, as I'm recording this, I hit 350,000 subscribers. And somebody told me that that's the population of Columbus, which is nuts. So, hey, Columbus. But I wanted to start this video with saying this because when I started my YouTube channel, I had been supposed to start this channel years before I actually started the channel. And I was always so scared. I was scared that I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I was scared that people weren't going to watch. I was scared that I wasn't going to do it right. Like, there were so many fears that came into place that prevented me from starting my channel years before I actually did. And I think that there comes a point in time where naturally you're just like, I'm tired of being scared, right? Like, I'm tired of holding on to this thing that I've been wanting to do. It's been inside of me for so long, and that's just where it's staying, right? So I oftentimes think about, like, what if I never started this channel? Like, my life would look completely different than what it is. And that's not to say it would be better or worse, but it would just be very different. And I love my life, right? Like, YouTube has provided me, like, this channel has provided me with a lot of financial stability. It has helped me build relationships with people. It has gotten me opportunities that I didn't even know were possible. And I am now fearful of, like, what if I didn't do this? So if you are in this place where you are just feeling scared, you're fearful of starting, and even if you don't even know if it's fear, you notice that you've been procrastinating. You've been saying you're going to do something for so long. It doesn't even have to be a YouTube channel, but you've been saying this thing for so long and you haven't done it yet. Think about fearing, what if I don't do it? Then what? What will my life look like if I continue to sit on this dream? If I continue to sit on this thing that I say I'm gonna do? If I continue to sit on this habit that I know will help me be a better person? So that's the first thing. Trying to channel the fearing of doing into the fearing of what if I don't do it. Number two, prioritizing your future self. So I read in Atomic Habits, y'all know I love that book, but I read about how building habits is a lot about looking out for your future self, right? So, like, say you leave the kitchen a mess at night after you cook dinner, and then in the morning, because you don't feel like it, and then in the morning you have to wake up and you have to clean this whole kitchen up before you even start your day. If you were thinking about your future self the night before, you would have cleaned it up despite how you felt. And then the next morning, you will be so happy that you did that, to wake up to a clean kitchen, a fresh start. So it doesn't matter what it is, thinking about your future self, whether that's setting yourself up financially, setting your kids up financially, and building a legacy of some sort. Thinking about what am I doing right now? How is that going to impact my future? Number three is addressing your limiting beliefs. So whatever it is that you are feeling that is stopping you from doing the thing. Limiting beliefs are just like fearing that you're too old to start, fearing that you don't look good enough, fearing that your background isn't aesthetic enough, fearing that you're too young, or that your idea isn't good, or doubting yourself, thinking that you're just not ready yet, or you are underqualified. Like, these are all things that are limiting beliefs. Or maybe you have started the thing and you are scared to go to the next level. Maybe you're scared to hire your first employee, or you are scared to buy a big piece of equipment that you need that's going to cost quite a bit of capital, or you're scared to run your first round of ads, or hiring your assistant. Like, whatever it is, write all of these limiting beliefs that you have down. I know a big one of mine was hiring, because as my channel started to grow, my business started to grow, I knew that I needed a lot of help. And I did this exercise. I actually did it with another coach, where I wrote down all of my limiting beliefs. And I wrote down like the three main ones. I don't think that I had like this laundry list of them, but I did write down three main ones. And one of them was hiring. And I realized that I was scared to hire because the idea of somebody else's livelihood being my responsibility was scary. I was like, am I actually going to make enough to be able to pay them this continuously? And so much of this is faith. Like, I believe in God. I have a great relationship with God, and I am a faith-driven person. And so when it comes to thinking about how am I going to preserve whatever it is that I have, it's a faith walk. So I thought about that. Like, I'm like, okay, my fear is that I can't hire somebody, but why? The why is because I don't know if I'm going to make enough money to have the responsibility of paying them month in, month out. And the third thing that I wrote down was, how am I actually going to, like, what actions am I going to take to be able to overcome that limiting belief? And a big thing was just looking at the numbers. Like, Erin, you have the money. You're making the money every month to be able to pay your somebody, this amount of money comfortably. And a lot of times the fear is just us not being aware of what we're already doing, what we already have, taking inventory of the things that we are doing so that we can be comfortable in the next move that we're making. So a big thing that I did was just look at the numbers, and I was like, okay, like, I feel good about this now, because at first it was just this looming idea. So I want you to do this exercise. I want you to make 3 columns on a sheet of paper. I actually have my creator to CEO students doing this, or they did this and they love it. So you want to take 3 columns on your paper. You want to write down your limiting beliefs. Then you want to write down why you think that you have these beliefs, and then write down the action that you can take to overcome that belief. Okay, number 4, start acting as if you are already. So if you want to, and I'm using myself as an example because it's just easy for me. Like, when I started my YouTube channel, I did not have, like, I started at 0 just like everybody else. So I was still waking up, showing up every day on my channel, like, you know, every week committing to uploading, making sure my thumbnails were great, making sure my titles were good, like not skipping any steps. And I was showing up as if I already had what I wanted to achieve. And that first year, my goal was 50,000 subscribers. And so what I want you to do is start writing down, like, what are the things that where you want to be are going to take? Like, does that take eating a certain diet? Does that take exercising every day or however often? Does that take, whatever those habits are that you need to do in order to get there? Write those down and start looking at your life and seeing if you're actually walking in that. That is also a faith walk. You are putting action behind your faith and making sure that your expectations for where you want to be are not unaligned with what you are currently doing. And this is one of my favorite ones. It is make comfort scary. Like, the second you start feeling too comfortable, you need to be pressing for the next thing. And this is not to get confused with, oh, Erin, you need to be thankful for what you have and we need to sit down and smell the roses. Who said we can't do both at the same time? Who said we can't be thankful for where we are and what we have, but still have higher expectations for ourselves and our lives? That said, my favorite quote, I will never forget, my very first boss gave me a journal that said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And it has become one of my favorite quotes because every single phase of my life, I can think of a time where I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, whether that was studying abroad, whether that was doing all kinds of video contests, moving and just all kinds of things. And I think that I've, over my life, practiced getting uncomfortable and being very okay with that. And so if you are somebody who struggles with the idea of discomfort, do small things that make you uncomfortable. They will compile and help build courage. Courage is a muscle. You have to practice it every day. If you are somebody who is enrolled in my creator college and you never speak on live, or you never turn your video on, or you're always scared to say something in a meeting, or if you're out at a at a restaurant and you see somebody and you think her hair looks great and you're scared to say something. Like, push yourself out of your comfort zone and actually say the thing, actually do the thing. A big fear that we have is that people are going to assume the worst. We just think that people are just gonna just assume that because this is our first time doing a YouTube video that they're just gonna think it's horrible. You know, we always just think like, oh my gosh, what if it's not this, or what if it's not what I've seen? And you're projecting fake like perceptions of yourself onto yourself and storing that as fear, and it's stopping you from actually doing the thing. So be okay with being uncomfortable. I know we hear this so much. I feel like it is just so commonly said, but it's because it is so true. So fear of starting has to be transformed into fear of, what if I don't start? What will my life continue to look like? What am I doing right now? What is this, what I'm currently doing, gonna look like in 5 years, in 10 years? Is your life gonna still look the same? Is it gonna look worse if you keep going in the direction that you are going? Or is it gonna look better? And all of this is up to us. Like, at the end of the day, you cannot blame anything else for why you do or don't have the things that you want in your life. It is all in our control. And the moment that we can hold ourselves accountable and take responsibility for the things that we are, that we have, that we don't have, is the second that you start moving in the right direction. So this doesn't mean that you have to like jump up today and like do this huge project or start this huge thing. A lot of it is going to be starting small, taking those small steps, figuring out, well, what is it that I can do right now that can give me some momentum? If you want to build a coffee shop, you don't have to start with thinking about building a coffee shop. You just need to make some coffee, post it, taste test it, go to different coffee shops, rate them, see what you like, what you don't like, share that with your audience. Start building the momentum of the things you have control over. So that way, I'm telling you, the things will start to fall in your path as you build that momentum up. So I hope this video encouraged you. Y'all know I'll be getting into it. My spirit was rumbling with this message, okay? So I love you guys. Go start. Just do it. And I love you. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.